What's up, everybody? It's your man Chan from You People, aka You People, here with riff number 6 of the 6 riffs that changed my life forever. That was the opening riff to For the Love of God by Steve Vai off of his groundbreaking solo guitar album, Passion and Warfare. That song and that album, I don't think that was the first Steve Vai album that I heard. I heard the song Call It Sleep on, is that Little Green Men? No, that's the album. Anyway, but that one was the first video that I saw by Steve Vai, and the first indication that like guitar was huge and that solo guitar was actually a thing, and it was, possible to become, this virtuoso player that just wasn't necessarily in a band, but he could join bands and then, do his solo thing. He played with Frank Zappa, he played with David, damn, I can't think of his name right now. Diamond Dave tour. He played with Whitesnake, and they actually gave him a solo feature, and they played that song with him. And I got to see Steve Vai at this club called Mississippi Nights in St. Louis, which is no longer there. He had Mike Keneally and other great players in his band. And they played that song, they played many others. Actually, they played the head-cutting song from Crossroads, where he played this guitar player, Jack Butler, who was down in Hades, and he had to cut Ralph Macchio's head. I guess Lightning Boy Martone was his name. And anyway, that song, Keneally and Steve Vai, they played that song in their band, and lo and behold, the moment where Steve Vai actually he actually made a mistake. I don't think this was scripted, because he kind of looked over at Mike and goes, I don't know. And Keneally played it perfectly, and Steve made a mistake. But I just remember Vai just being a monster performer and an incredible guitar player. And that song, For the Love of God, was, I think, maybe the lead single off of that album, and he had a bunch of different singles, but that one showed me that, guitar was, king at the time. Eric Johnson, Joe Satriani, those were some of the other bigger names in the solo industry. Then you had guys like Blues Saraceno coming about, but there were always epic guitar players. Stevie Ray Vaughan, who had his own band, he sang as well, but these other guys, they just played their guitars. Alan Holdsworth, he's my all-time favorite guitar player. He's definitely not mainstream, not that these guys exactly were, but anyway, Steve Vai was one of the bigger personalities in that guitar world. And watching him analyze this song, like in these YouTube, in a YouTube video, he talks about how the first phrase, he actually doesn't add any vibrato or anything. It's just, I don't have the sustain with this guitar, but he doesn't actually, he's played it as plain as he could. Next time they come back to that phrase, after the chorus or whatever, then he adds some vibrato, and it just kind of progresses. And I never noticed those things until he, brought it up. But that shows you, how much thought goes into the songs like this. But he, created this world. He and these other players, made guitar big. Solo guitar was huge. And these guys are guitar heroes, and they didn't just come from bands. They were doing these things all on their own, creating these, had studios in their home and creating these things in between tours as supporting other. David Lee Roth, thank you very much. Couldn't think of his name. Supporting these other solo acts as David Lee Roth left or was fired from Van Halen. Whoever tells the story, Steve Vai was hired along with Billy Sheehan and Greg Bissonette, and they went on tour playing these songs. And he goes back after that tour and finishes more of the album. He goes on a tour with Whitesnake, and then they play some of these songs in this as this album comes out. And anyway, it was big business, and it was so influential, and it was such a cool thing. Buying my first Guitar World and Guitar Player magazines and seeing these guys. Having the posters and the articles and the lessons and the tutorials and things like that. And then finally getting to see these guys play these incredible songs live was just, so enriching and such a bright time in my life, and my formative years as a guitar player. And I'll never forget, hearing these, my buddy Will Jones, I think he was the one that turned me on to Steve Vai. So thank you, Will, for that. And he had a big part in my guitar playing as well, in the beginnings of my guitar playing. Will Jones, Mark Elledge, and Mike Pernica. Thank you, guys. I hope you're on social media. I hope you guys see this someday, too. Anyway, but those riffs, that riff, this is riff number 6, For the Love of God by Steve Vai. Thank you so much for watching. Please like this video. Give it a big thumbs up. Share it with someone that you feel, that you want to actually make some of these videos. That share it with people that you think, might need the inspiration or might not recognize that they've, had an impact. Or share this with someone who had an impact on you as a musician or as an artist or an actor or, whatever you do, as you flip burgers, share some sort of inspiration with them and let them know that you care about them and that you really appreciate, what they did for you and how it changed your life. But this is how these things changed my life. Music is what I do. I'm trying to build the brand, You People here. I'm in St. Louis, and I'm trying to make a name for myself here as a solo artist, solo guitar player, so I make content every day. Please share. Like I said, it boosts the algorithm and gets these things out to the people. And get me on those big tours, man. That's what I do, and that's what I want to do. And hopefully, as I grow as a musician, people appreciate what I do and what we do as musicians, as entertainers, and help each other out. That's all I got to say, man. Thank you so much. Take care.